Mom's Basement, exclusively on Spotify. With your hosts, Killer Keemstar and faze Banks.
You can find me in the heart of the city. You can tell me that I could have done more. You can show me why I'm here, what I'm feeling. All I know is all I know.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And we don't have a guest today. And the reason why we don't have a guest is because I'm actually in LA in a studio looking at Banks.
Keemstar is 2 feet away from me. And I love it. We have the OG Mom's Basement sign hanging up in my basement.
Dude, this studio is amazing.
It's nice, right?
Dude, these speakers.
Justin Bieber used to live here. He's recorded music in here. It's nice. It's like really quality shit.
What is up with you following Justin Bieber? Because didn't he live in the other place too?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we just have the same taste in house. I don't know.
This house is way better. The other one was like a steel prison.
Like crack house kind of vibes, but like still had an elevator in it and a fucking movie theater and all that crazy bougie shit. But no, this house is like a home. Like I've never lived in a house where like I would consider it like a dream house to live in and raise a family in. But this house does that. You saw the backyard and like the lake and shit.
Yeah, you guys need to understand. I was walking around his house because Banks was on a business meeting. I was waiting for him. I was shooting hoops with Rice Gum and Aiden and stuff. And me and John, we decided to do a little tour of the backyard. And Banks
Next
has
level.
These giant statues of animals, like
Justin Bieber bought those too.
A giant
the blue alligators.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Blue alligators, like, and they're huge, like massive, like bigger than actual real big alligators. Like it's fucking insane.
One of them back there, we call him Godzilla. It's like it's bigger than a car. It's bigger than a boat.
I inspected all of them. One of them's missing a tooth. What happened?
I honestly don't know. There's people back there all the time doing dumb shit. Like I said, those have been here since Justin Bieber lived here. But the backyard, man, that's like the selling point of the house.
100%.
It's like, how big is that? I know you know like land and shit.
It's pretty big. I would say maybe an acre and a half.
An acre and a half, yeah. See, it's huge. We play soccer back there. We've done crazy big productions. We built a water park back there when this was the Faze house. Did you get to see Summer's house?
I did.
We don't even call her our roommate. We call her our next door neighbor. She has her whole own like guest house in the back.
Is Jarvis and Kay still here?
No, Jarvis and Kay are in Vegas.
Oh.
All the Faze guys moved to Vegas.
Oh, no shit.
It's just that too many distractions in LA. Those kids are hardcore in the YouTube game, grinding out videos, taxes and just business and stuff. Vegas is just a way better play. It's way cheaper to live there. It was the move. It's only an hour away, an hour flight. You know what I mean?
I've been hearing Wyoming is the place to like set up a company. No, I swear, to like set up a company, tax reasons, all that stuff. Like
even if Wyoming was at 0%, even if I didn't have to pay taxes, I couldn't see myself living in Wyoming.
Jeffree Star's living there 6 months a year, so he can say that he's an actual resident of Wyoming.
See, Jeffree Star's on a little bit of a different level.
He's a billionaire,
right? Yeah. I don't know, and I just feel like he really only rolls with his squad anyways. Like,
did you see what happened to Mike and Jake? They went to Puerto Rico for like tax reasons or whatever.
Or Logan and Jake, you mean?
Yeah, Logan and Jake. What did I say?
Mike and Jake.
Yeah. But Logan and Jake, they went to Puerto Rico, and it didn't take long for the Pauls to get into some controversy. They were just, having fun. They were on some ATVs or whatever, like on the beach. Bro, it's a big no because these sea turtles, they come out, lay their eggs, and you can smash them. Yeah.
Those guys, man, it just follows them. I feel like it's not so much. I feel like it's at the point where their names are just so like clickable, and like people make mistakes all the time. That's why I wish people wouldn't take things so seriously on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just seen a TikTok that was hilarious. They were explaining the whole situation, and they were like, yeah, well, it's $100,000 fine. However, Logan Paul makes like $42,000 a minute on YouTube or something, like,
which is not true.
It's not true, but it was a TikTok. I thought it was funny.
He's doing really well, but $42,000 a minute, I'd be that. Buy every sea turtle on the fucking planet with that kind of money. Yeah. I just spent $50,000 in your presence on my laptop on a fucking CryptoPunk. I'm out of control. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if I'm just insane or if I'm onto something.
How many do you have?
4. Okay. But I have one that's like a really good one. I have one that's worth in the range of like 300K on its own. And then the other 2 are floating around. Their value's floating around 100 and 150K each.
Dude, you guys don't understand.
So I'm almost in at $1 million in punks, and I've only spent now $200,000 USD.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I'm doing good. Like I'm definitely doing good as long as the fucking market doesn't crash, as long as this thing is, the longevity's there like I think it is. We're looking like we made some good moves.
Well, the CryptoPunk is the main thing that you want, right?
That's the OG one.
It's like if you were to compare that to cryptocurrency, that'd be like having Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So.
If you wanted to compare it to like traditional art, that's like a Picasso. It's like it's like the equivalent of a Picasso in the traditional.
You guys don't understand. Banks is like trying to convince me. This is like 3 weeks ago. He's like, get this CryptoPunk right here. Any one of these, they're like 40 grand each. And I'm like, man, I'm not that big in NFTs
and
yet.
All of the ones I linked to have doubled, by the way.
No, they doubled that night. Like we're talking 8 hours later. Yeah. He's like, did you see the price of that? You tell me you bought that? No,
because I woke up after linking you all those, and there was one specifically that I was like, you should get this one. This one's a really good price. This one's no way. This one's gonna stay at that price for long.
Yeah.
And I woke up, clicked it. It was owned by a wallet. And it was the wallet that owned it only owned one CryptoPunk. So I'm like, oh shit, Keem might have really pulled the fucking trigger on this. I was like, please tell me you got this. No, It's all right.
I feel bad though, but you just got a cheap one.
Yeah, I got the floor one. So a floor punk is the cheapest one you can get. And usually they're really fucking ugly looking, not great. This one's only a 2 trait. So it's not anything crazy special, but it looks good. It looks clean. It's got just an eye patch, shaved head. It's a pretty basic punk, but that thing's holding its value. You know what I mean? Like if I had second thoughts, if I wanted to just throw it back up there for a small profit, I could right now. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about you and Mike going on No Jumper?
Yeah, man. Did you watch it?
I thought you and Mike on No Jumper was amazing. I thought it was a really, really good episode, but it caused some drama.
It did cause some drama. Let's talk about that. So, me and Mike, my roommate, Mike Malak, the biggest fucking snake on YouTube right now. I'm just kidding. He's not a snake. But, all his shit going on with Lana, Logan, whatever. He had a lot of things to address. He decided to do it on the No Jumper podcast. He asked me if I wanted to hop on because we had done one before, like 2 years ago, and it was a fucking smash hit. Everybody loved it. Adam told us it's one of his most requested, like, yo, you got to get Mike and Banks back on here. Like, we talked for 3 hours from everything about sucking our own dicks to fucking sim theory and like artificial intelligence and just weird shit. And the pace of it was great. The show was awesome. We got great feedback. But we naturally got into h3h3
and
Trisha because we're talking about the whole like PC cancel culture thing. And listen, like I fucking said, I don't even really know these people. I don't have any hatred toward these people. Trisha, I know, is a fucking just a crazy person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I identify as a crazy person too, so it's not me taking a jab, whatever.
Well, to be fair to her, I think a lot of influencers are crazy, you know?
Absolutely.
You have to be to make it in this business, but
people want to watch crazy. You drive down the street and there's a fucking car crash, everyone's looking at it, you know what I mean? People just want to see crazy fucking out there shit that they don't get to see every day.
The hypocrisy is unreal, though. And I'm just I think the community as a whole is just sick of the hypocrisy.
Dude, it's fucking insane.
If you're going to go and dig up someone's past, right, you can't have a bad past.
It's like, man, listen, this is the thing with these two, and this is my biggest gripe against them, and it blows my mind how many comments I'll see about, like they took what you said about, and I'm not even going to repeat it. Right. For those of you guys who saw it, you know what I'm talking about. They took something entirely out of context that you said years ago. You were paraphrasing and directly quoting somebody's words.
Yep.
They took that because your voice was saying it. They clipped it and they kept playing it on their fucking podcast with zero context.
Yep.
Nothing. That is so dishonest. Well, and it is so, and it's being dishonest in a way where like these sensitive topics of like sexual assault and fucking racism and things like that, real serious things, they're taking it and making a fucking mockery out of it with that.
Yep.
And then pretending like they're the good guys and pretending like they're trying to save the space.
And
That's
Trisha,
what I don't fuck with.
Dude.
And the thing is, sorry. I need to go off about this for a second.
Go ahead.
The fact that H3 can make these comments that you like, there are clips of him saying the N-word, hard R, followed by the F-word.
Yep.
The referring to gay people.
Yep.
Two of the worst fucking slurs you could use, two of the most offensive words in the English dictionary. saying it, and even iDubbbz is in the room like, dude, you're using it a little bit too, now you're using it a little bit too liberally.
Me and you won't call him racist for that.
No, we won't. Because we know the context of the conversation.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, by H3's definition, if you use either of those words, you're a racist. And if you use the other one, you're a homophobe. And you've used both of them back to back a million different times.
Well, the PewDiePie situation that I was memeing about and talking about, h3h3 defended PewDiePie and said, look, he is not anti-Semitic. PewDiePie is making an edgy joke. He's a comedian, right? So he, clear as day, understands the context.
H3 has completely flipped all of his takes. He dresses like he's fucking a 16-year-old progressive now, and his wife dyes her hair now, and they named their kid after their clothing brand, Teddy Fresh. Their kid's name's Theodore, right?
Is it?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe I misread something somewhere. I don't know. But it's like, dude, he's done a total 180, and it's like, man, come on. Like, all of your takes and your positions and how you really are, that shit exists on the internet.
Yeah. I think because I know he's listening to this, you can't be calling out jokes if you're a self-proclaimed comedian. You just can't do that. Like, you're an enemy of comedy, right? You have all these, comedians on your podcast and stuff, which actually he doesn't even do that anymore, does he? I don't think so.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't consume a ton of H3 content. Yeah. It's just, and I found a tweet from myself in 2017, and I had to laugh at it. Somebody liked it, and I saw it. It said, KSI, PewDiePie, and h3h3 are the realest motherfuckers on the internet. And it wasn't a joke. I was being serious. In 2016, 2017, one of the 2 years. That's how I genuinely felt about this dude. Even after he fucking threw me under the bus with the Jake Paul thing, he dislikes me for no other reason than I'm friends with you and I'm friends with Mike. He hates Rice Gum too, which I understand. I'm being lumped into whatever, but I've never had a fucking issue with this guy, and he attacks me, he attacks everybody around me, and it's getting fucking old, man. Yeah. It's getting old, and it's just, I think people are starting to see through it. I've seen a lot of comments like that, and it's nice. Trisha specifically. So she responded on her Instagram story and made a comment like, Mike and Banks are fucking those creepy old dudes in like a hype house type content house. She
said something that made me pause. She goes, they've had history with underage. And I'm like, what? I run Drumler. They haven't.
Never. Never. One time. She completely made that up out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like when you guys project yourselves as factual, fucking a news source, and like
2 seconds. So Trisha actually has hit on like underage boys.
Yeah.
Like we got the tweets, we got the videos, we got multiple videos. We have a video of her grabbing a 16-year-old's underwear and making jokes about him doing some oral stuff. We have the footage. You've been caught in 4K, and you're going to try to project that on someone else?
When there's been absolutely no instance, no history. We have 24/7 security who IDs everybody that comes in this house. That's the way that I've operated since I fucking moved here.
And another thing Trisha said, she goes, look, we're not doing anything bad on the h3h3 podcast. All we're doing is trying to bring awareness to, sexual assault stuff. Okay, you did in that one instance, but you have also sexually harassed me, Trisha. I mean, that's just facts on top of facts, and people laugh about it and joke about it. They don't take that serious. I don't think
you feel like a victim or anything, but
I've asked her to stop. Yeah. I publicly asked her to stop, and she continued to do it. But so then here's the other thing. Then she goes on to say, and we're trying to raise awareness about mental health. Now, this isn't something from the past, all right? This is literally a couple weeks ago. They were trying to give an award to Gabby Hanna for the biggest YouTube mental breakdown. Now, come on. You're trying to bring awareness to mental health, really?
It sounds like a joke to me. It sounds like poking fun at somebody's mental breakdown expense. Like, it's a lot to keep up with, and it's honestly exhausting. It's not fun to participate in this, but it's also like, it's impossible to back down. It's just... We've found ourselves in a position, Keem, people like me, you, Rice, Mike, where we're unapologetically ourselves. We give our actual real opinions on things. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be friends with any one of you if I didn't think that you were good people. If I thought that you guys were evil, weird, malicious, racist, any sort of weird thing like that, I wouldn't associate with you. But we're not those people. We're actually good people. You know what I'm saying? We actually are the good guys. The way that we carry ourselves.
And the thing is, I don't want to be a good guy. I do not want to be a good guy. I want to be, dickhead, asshole fucking Keemstar. I can't because I'm going up against like pure evil.
But it's this weird thing. It's like I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. They pretend like they're the do-gooders. It's just
it's wild.
And that's what I said on the Adam 22 No Jumper podcast. I mean, whatever. It's a dumb back and forth. The difference between us is we're never gonna manufacture or create something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're never gonna go as far as to like create an instant or call out h3h3. Never had an issue with any sort of underage girls or anything like that, right? That's never happened.
No,
it's not something we would ever say that he did or ever even pretend like is a possibility because he's never done anything that points to that being possible.
And the only reason why we're bringing it up about Trisha.
So for them to do it to us is like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just another example, facts that you just called me and Mike out for doing some shit that we've never done. Yeah. There's never been any instance of that. There's never been any accusation of that. I know myself personally I am so extremely careful when it comes to that shit. I understand that we live in LA. I understand that people slip through the cracks. Underage girls get into nightclubs. Underage girls slip their way into parties, shit like that. I am fucking dangerously careful about that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know what I mean? Like, as anybody in my position or really any position at all should be. And just to like throw that away and not give any sort of credit, like, and I'm not even asking for credit. It's just a normal person thing to do.
And she said it in such a vague way that it would be like, how do you, what instance? What is she talking about? Like, you can't immediately be like, you're lying, right?
Listen, it's so
because nobody can research it.
She wanted the people who watched that story to hear those words and then to just accept it as fact and to associate that nasty, awful, disgusting thing to my name, to Mike's name. And that's basically, that's at the end of the day, that's the problem that I have with them. They're willing and ready to do that. H3 does it all the fucking time. On his podcast, he's like the CSGO Lotto, that big scandal with T Martin and fucking Syndicate, they didn't explicitly tell. And again, what they did wrong in that situation was they did not tell their audience that they owned the site. And they played on the site, promoted the site, and failed to tell their audience that they owned part of the site. You can't do that. That's not okay. Ethically, it's not okay. And legally, I think it's very like wishy-washy, whatever.
Right.
I have no part and have never had any part in CSGO Lotto. Yeah. Okay. As far as the CSGO Wild instance, so he hopped in and said he was a part of that whole CSGO Lotto thing. He owned CSGO Lotto, whatever. And then fucking 5 minutes later, oh, we have a correction. Sorry. It was, I believe he owned CSGO Wild, which also is not true. We started this project with these kids. They were creating a site. Our team told us, you guys cannot own this site. If you guys want to do deals with them, if you guys want to stream their shit, if you guys want to get paid outright by them, whatever, which is how we structured the deal. A rev share type deal where we had no involvement in the building of the company. We didn't own the company, none of the IP, nothing. We relinquished all that. And we made videos and we're very, very clear that, hey, we're working on this. I was excited. I was proud of it at first.
Right.
The beta fucking site, like a white shitty site with no branding on it. We're like, yo, come fucking try this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, we're building a site. We're doing this. We were excited. Me and Rain really liked doing that. And it wasn't a fucking huge issue. You know what I mean? Those guys who we worked with, the CSGO Wild guys, these are things that they don't give a fuck about, but this is one of the only sites, if not the only site, that complied with every fucking law. They went out and incorporated their company in Antigua. They fucking got all the proper licenses. There was no shady shit on the back end. Everything about what the thing that they were running was clean and clear and done the right way. And the second that all the sites got a cease and desist from Valve directly, they were the only site that shut down. They shut it down. And they were making money, you know what I mean? Yeah. They had everything in place to make sure that you had to go through all the right steps, that you were over 18, your fucking ID, all that shit. You know what I mean? And I had no involvement in that, but obviously if we're working with somebody, you want to know that you're working with the right people, whatever. And that's what it was. I didn't own any fucking site. It's like, but he'll say that as fact.
Listen to this.
It's
he
like,
did the
dude.
same. He did the same exact thing to me during the T Martin thing where he was exposing T Martin for running the CSGO gambling site. Right. I'm talking to h3h3 in DMs, And I jokingly say to him, oh, yeah, I ran one of the biggest sites, made like a lot of money. Like, I'm fucking around with him. I may even say like laughing out loud or something. He leaks my DMs in one of these content nukes and says, oh, yeah, he ran a gambling site. Yes, me.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that that's not true. I know for a fact that you didn't have any
He knows it's not true. He knows it's not true. I mean, this guy is an enemy of the goddamn truth. It's unbelievable. And the hypocrisy it just never ends. I mean, this is going to sound so stupid and pathetic, but like somebody just tweeted at me this tweet of h3h3 saying, the Bass Pro hats need to go. They're lame or something. You TikTokers need to stop wearing the Bass Pro Shop hats, right? And right underneath it was a picture that somebody tweeted at him of him and his brother's wearing a Bass Pro hat. I mean, it's like this guy cannot do or say anything without hypocrisy being attached to it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They live in this world where they sit in that studio, and H3, I imagine, has nothing but yes men around him, people who suck his dick because they pay his bill.
It's going to end badly.
Their bills. I don't know, and I honestly hope it doesn't. I really don't. I don't think. It's just like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to fucking make shit up. There's plenty of like criticism to give everyone. If you look hard enough, you can criticize anyone on the internet for a number of things. You don't need to make shit up in the worst possible shit. By the way, what that does, bro, he's
going to end up with like 30 lawsuits.
When you call every person on the planet a racist, it loses the meaning of that word loses value. Like, that word is used to describe a terrible person who treats people of a different race unfairly and is just a fucking bad person.
Yep.
Not everybody on the planet is like that. And when you fucking make it into that, when everybody is a sexual abuser, it takes away from that. It's like, dude, not just because you don't like somebody or like their opinions doesn't mean they're a fucking evil person, and it doesn't mean you should promote them as such.
Think about how calculated this recent thing was with the PewDiePie meme, right? There's a war going on in Israel and Palestine. Yeah. Like, dude, tensions are not just bad there. They're here in America. They're in every country, right? You can see, the different camps fighting.
This shit hits home for me too, because there are people a part of my company who, there's people who grew up in Israel, and there's people who, you know what I mean, grew up in Palestine, and families. There's kids dying, and like, it's a real fucking thing.
So for him to use that, right, at this time and bring up that PewDiePie meme thing that I said in 2017, am I alone here, or is this not the most fucked up shit ever?
It is, man. It is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's calling it out. Nobody's fucking being honest about any of it, because, well, they're just trying to fucking call out the fucking bad people. It's no, dude. No. Yeah. No. They're trying to kill two birds with one stone. They're trying to take out the competition and fuck with the people they don't like, while at the same time propping themselves up as do-gooder, great people. And it's so fucking obviously
Ethan
fake.
Uploaded this TikTok when this is before the whole David Dobrik scandal, right? David came out with his new show, Views, or his podcast or whatever, and he had those like Easter egg colors, the same colors that h3h3 uses. He made this TikTok, and he was basically saying, I can't remember exactly because he deleted it right away because I think he got some hate on it. But he made this TikTok saying, oh, it's interesting how they stole our colors or whatever. And then a couple weeks later, we're taking down David Dobrik. Like, this guy has some weird fucking thing, like where if he's mad at you, he's just going to lie, manipulate, or whatever. Find something you did bad, right?
The problem is they just twist the facts and make things seem a lot worse than they are, and even introduced fake shit.
They're the fake news of
true.
YouTube.
That's true. I hate that term, but it's actually,
they really are. They really are.
It's just, and it's not a criticism. It's not subjective. It's legitimate. Like, I saw with my own eyes, Trisha last night made some weird fucking comment about me and Mike, and it was like, that's not true. Nothing about what you just said is true. There's not even a tiny shred of truth. There's not even a fucking, and then they'll fucking go and dig for a tweet. Like, Trisha, just if I tweeted today something about you that wasn't true, it doesn't make it true, or it doesn't call for. Trisha has now been officially accused of such and such and such. It's just, they'll do anything to fit their narrative.
It's working now, kind of, right? it's not going to work forever. This is going to end bad. This is going to end bad. Look, I don't think Ethan's in a good place, right? I understand that, like, you know, he's making all this jokes saying that like something's wrong with me mentally, and, you know, I'm mentally ill. You know, again, the guys that are advocates for mental health, right? Joking around saying something's wrong with my mind. But I seriously just don't think he's in a good place, like mentally. I think this is taken. I
think when you have such a sparking interest in watching the world around you burn, and when you take that, H3, in my opinion, is the stereotypical person who, it's your neighbor who, if you have a bigger house than them and a bigger car than them, they hate you, and they look at it as them losing, when that's not how it works. There's room for everybody to win. Just because somebody's doing better than you doesn't mean you're not doing well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and more importantly, watching somebody fall and watching someone lose everything, that doesn't improve your status whatsoever. It doesn't mean you're more of a winner. And that's what people fucking think.
It's got to be some weird power trip thing, right? Because James Charles goes down. They played a big part in that. David Dobrik goes down. They played a big part on that. And then they go after Jake and fail. Jake doesn't go down, you know, and that's when he like really starts going in on Jake, and they're trying everything they possibly can. You know, it's like, it's some weird power trip they're on.
I don't know. It is. It's weird.
But anyhow.
Enough about them though, man. We're finding ourselves talking about them in every fucking show, and I really it's.
Well, dude, they always say that, like, me and h3h3 will be at war for like 10 years. But, dude, a lot of times it's me responding.
No, I know. And I actually see that.
Yeah.
And that's not typical of you. You're usually the one going at it.
I'm usually the one starting the shit.
No, but I see it, and like, it even fucking blows my mind. That thing with that sound clip, I was like, dude, this is on a different level. Like, this is on a different level. You're taking somebody quoting something, very obviously quoting something. You're taking that soundbite and you're playing it for people as if you said those words in your own words.
Do you know, just a couple days ago, people were attacking Ethan's wife, saying, you know, that she was in the army or whatever over in Israel. And I put out a tweet defending her. I go, look, I care about the facts, even if it's helping out my enemies, right? I go, the truth is, every adult 18 and older, it's mandatory for you to join the army if you're, you know, from Israel or whatever. Like, she didn't do that by choice, so you shouldn't be getting hate for that. And then like a couple days later, he does this to me. It's like, it's fucking unreal.
It's weird.
And I was on a small YouTuber's podcast, and they asked me, they said, would you ever make peace with Ethan Klein? I go, I tried 2 times. I made 2 public tweets saying, hey, this is going somewhere bad. This is going to cause an apocalypse. This is going to cause something. This is all going to a bad place.
Yeah.
And they asked me, well, why do I do that now? Yeah, I want him to stop. Of course, I'd make peace. But if he's going to keep swinging at me, I'm going to keep swinging back. That's all there is to it.
And I mean, it's just your natural line of what you do in your work. You do a lot of fact checking shit. Your place on the internet is to call people out when they're fucking up. And so long as he keeps fucking prompting up fake shit, like, yeah, it's like there's going to be room to be called out for that. It's if somebody out there went and combed through all of his shit, I'm sure you'd be able to find an infinite number of false allegations, accusations, and you just you can't operate like that when you're in a position like you're in. You're running basically a news show. It's a podcast. Yeah. A lot of people listen to it and listen to you for the facts, and you're just giving them false information. Like, I can't fucking believe some of the comments that I see about you criticizing you in defense of him when he's done the same things but worse. It's just like, dude, do you even know what you're talking about right now? Yeah. Do you? Like, these clips exist. They're out there on the internet.
They're really bad.
And it just goes to show, it's just...
Well, he made an apology.
That was the cool thing that was the cool thing to do back then. The iDubbbz, those motherfuckers.
To be edgy.
Those motherfuckers were at the fucking top, and they were cracking all these crazy fucking like super like edgy jokes. And even beyond, I would say jokes, sometimes just flat out like being crazy and just disrespectful for the sake of doing it and showing that they didn't give a fuck about people's feelings and stuff. And I understand the context of it. I understand the reasoning for it, whatever. But Ethan was all over that. He was all over that, participating, doing the same shit, because at that time, that was the cool thing to do.
And he defended PewDiePie when PewDiePie got in trouble for the same stuff, edgy humor. Yeah. He went out and defended PewDiePie.
That's what I mean about them punching down and like sucking up. You know what I'm saying? PewDiePie like is on a different level, and at that time definitely was on a different level. iDubbbz kind of carried that fucking like golden fucking 007 pistol that's a one-shot kill. Like that motherfucker had all the power in his hands. He could fucking, I guess the word today is cancel anybody at any time, make a fucking content cop on them and just destroy them. Yep. Ethan decided to fucking align himself with that. You know what I mean? And now the hot button fucking thing is being politically correct, saying all the right things, bashing and canceling people who fucking think a different way, speak a different way, and that's what he's all about right now.
It's just fake, man. I think the term is called grifter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Grifter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And he was not like this at all, man. He was never, ever like this. And like, I don't know. I mean, people can change, but like, you don't.
Well, in his defense, him and Gila at one point, I seen this clip and they were talking about how they changed, and they said they didn't like their audience. They didn't like the jokes that they made, and they were getting away politically of how they truly felt. And so they did a 180. Like that's his excuse. But I don't know. I'm not buying it.
I feel like when you live that life, you're tripping over your own fucking shadow. Like it's like, oh fuck, I forgot. That's not how I feel about this. Like yeah. The way someone feels about, the reason why it's called a feeling is because you have no control over it. You feel a certain way and you don't have much control over it to an extent. Well, it's why when you look at a pretty girl that you think is pretty, you're attracted to them. That's a feeling. When you smell something that's gross, it smells gross. That's how you feel about it. It's just your brain reacting to that fucking, you know what I mean? And it's when you have to pause and be like, that pile of shit, it stinks. I can smell that it stinks, but I have to say it smells good. Well, that's not like
there's such an obvious motive in all these scenarios. Okay, first let's talk about James Charles. He was mad at James Charles because James Charles made a hoodie that was the similar colors to his. All right, everybody's seen that story, right? That was the motive for let's destroy James Charles. Now, is James Charles guilty? Did James Charles deserve to be canceled? In my opinion, yes. But that is the motive, all right? David Dobrik, Trisha has been trying to cancel them forever, right? Yeah. That's the motive with that. Me, right? We've been beefing since 2017. That's the motive with that. I mean, like, it's so transparent.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, how come he's not calling out, iDubbbz for his old edgy jokes, right? My edgy jokes get called out. How come iDubbbz isn't?
It's true. I mean, it's a valid point. No, it's valid.
Because he's fake. Because it's not.
It's totally valid. What you're saying is totally valid. That's the problem when you take these stances. You better be fucking prepared to take that stance with everyone. You can't pick and choose. Yeah. You can't say if Keemstar did this, it's wrong, but iDubbbz is okay. And I agree with that. And I don't think
he did it. This is the most important thing. He fucking did it himself. Ethan himself made these edgy jokes.
And I like iDubbbz. I've always liked iDubbbz. I've always liked that corner. I've always liked those guys. Max Mofo and fucking Chad. Chad's one of our really good friends. Chad's a really good mutual friend of me and Keem. It's anything for views. Great fucking dude. But these dudes, their little like Australian fucking edgy click thing, that's what they fucking did for a while. What I appreciate about those fucking kids is they didn't backtrack or apologize about everything. They just told it how it was. You know what I mean?
I noticed there's a little bit.
They are who they are. You know what I mean?
We're living in a sea of the cancel culture stuff right now, and everyone knows it, right? It's like really taking over. But there's also this other group of people that want that edgy humor back. Because I've been telling like a lot of people to fuck off, right? Like, so I uploaded this like half-ass apology, which wasn't an apology, and one of Ethan's fans was like coming at me like, "Oh, that's not even a real apology." And I responded to her and I go, "I wasn't apologizing for what I said. I was apologizing that I got caught, bro. It went viral. Everybody fucking loved it, right? Like they want that edginess back because, quite frankly, the internet isn't fun." It's not fun like it used to be.
It's scary. Mike made a great point on that No Jumper podcast where he was like, imagine what it's like to wake up as Charlie D'Amelio, a 16-year-old girl. She's probably terrified of the internet. Terrified. This used to be fun.
Yeah.
This used to be fun before we started cannibalizing ourselves. And the fucking saddest part, not to get preachy about it, the saddest part is it's so like counterproductive to like the overall goal. Us as a community should band together on most things. We should turn on the bad apples who deserve to be turned on, and what's the fucking word? Like excluded or fucking exiled, you know what I mean? Like get rid of the fucking bad people who do really bad shit.
Yeah.
But like when it's like becoming this like cannibalistic environment, it's just never gonna do anything good for the overall space.
Nope.
It's just, it makes us all look fucking dumb.
Dude, I'm so afraid that there's going to be some like adpocalypse or something at the end of this, right? You know, you're empowering these journalists to go and attack, you know, YouTubers' finances. Like they went after David Dobrik's sponsor.